All right, level 4. Given that one pawn, x, how would you show that the equation, how would you show the equation on the scale? What is the value of one pawn? All right, so these are the different examples that you have. I'll start with this one on the right. Okay, so we're going to have one pawn, a 4, then 2 pawns. So just a triangle with a circle on top, then one pawn, and then a 20. Okay, so again, if you see it on both sides, you can legally, without penalty, cross it out. And then I want to get rid of, so we want numbers on one side and pawns on one side. So since I have pawns on this side, I'll keep the pawns here and the numbers here. And you don't have to, but that would just be the simplest way. All right, so I need to cancel out this 4. Therefore, I need to break this 20 up. So I'm going to break 20 with a 4. So 4 plus what number is equal to 20? So that's 4 and 16. So I can cross this out because I've replaced it with 4 plus 16, and my scale is still balanced. Now that I have a 4 on both sides, what can I do? I can cross those out. So now I have 2 pawns is equal to 16. So I need to break down 16 into 2 equal values. And so that would be 8 plus 8 would be 16. So that goes away because I've replaced 16 with 8 plus 8. So my scale is still balanced. Therefore, one pawn must be equal to 8. And let's check that. So we're going to replace where I see x with 8. So this is 8 plus 4 plus 2 8s. And I'm not going to just put it like this to make it easier. Is 8 plus 20. All right, so let's go ahead and put this in a calculator. 2 times 8 is 16, plus 4 is 20, plus 8 is 28. So that's going to be 28 equals 20 plus 8 is 28. So this is correct. All right, let's go ahead and do example 7. So again, I have one pawn, then I have 2 pawns, a guy with the circle on top, then I have 14, then I have 5 pawns, a triangle with a circle on the top, 3, triangle with a circle on top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a 2. All right, so let's automatically get rid of pawns. So I see one on this side, 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 one on this side. And my scale is still balanced because I'm removing them equally from both sides. All right, looks like I have pawns on this side, so I want to leave numbers on this side. I have a 2 here that I don't want here, so I'm going to rewrite 14. So 2, I'm going to include 2 because I don't want this one here, right? So 2 plus what is 14 is 12. So my scale is still balanced if I replace 14 with 2 plus 12 because it's 14. And now what do you see? I see the 2 on this side and the 2 on this side. So now I have 2 pawns is equal to 12. So 2 of them is equal to 12 and they're equal, right? So what 2 equal numbers give me 12 when I add them together? That's going to be 6 plus 6. So therefore, if 2 pawns are equal to 2 6s, 1 pawn is equal to 6. So I have 1 pawn is equal to 6, and that's what I'm checking. All right, so we're going to just replace the pawns with 6, or the x's with 6. So I have 6 plus 2 times 6 plus 14 equals 5 times 6 plus 2. Put that all in the calculator. 2 times 6 is 12, plus 14 is 26, plus 6, 26 plus 6 is 32. So I'm just going to put it right here real small. Then 5 times 6 is 30, plus 2 is 32. So 32 equals 32. That works. All right, pause the video and go ahead and see if you can do level 4. All right, then we're going to move on to level 5. So when you see subtraction, so now we've only been dealing with positives. We're going to introduce subtraction, but we're going to introduce it in steps. When you see subtraction, take care of it while you set up the equation, then continue as usual. All right, so let's take a look at what that means. So we have 2 pawns here, two pawns here, then another pawn, then a 6. Then we have here, there's no subtraction on that problem, so I'm not sure why that's there, but we'll do it anyway. 4 pawns, triangle with a circle with a 2. All right, so let's go ahead and get rid of our pawns. Remember, you can take it out from both sides and the scale still remains balanced. Take it out from both sides and the scale still remain balanced. All right, since I have the pawn left on this side, I'm going to put numbers on this side, which means I need to get rid of this 2. So we're going to rewrite 6, with a 2. So 2 plus what number will give me 6? 4. So now that crosses out. The scale is still balanced by me replacing 2 plus 4. Now we have 2's on both sides. We can cross those out. So we have 1 pawn is equal to 4. So 1 pawn is equal to 4. All right, so let's go ahead and check that. So we have 2 times a pawn, which is 4, plus another pawn, which is 4, plus 6 equals 4 times 1 pawn, which is 4, plus 2. And you're going to type that all up in the calculator. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 4 is 12, plus 6 is 18. So I have 18 equals 4 times 4 is 16, plus 2 is 18. So this works. All right, so 1 pawn is equal to 4. All right, go ahead and do another example. Good, there's a subtraction one in here. All right, so we have a pawn. So a pawn and a 5 on that side. And then on this side, we have a 4, 3 pawns, 3 positive pawns. And now what we have to do is represent the negatives in a different color. So from here on out, I'm going to say dark color is positive, light color is negative. Okay, so maybe use a pen and a pencil. So dark is positive, that's how you're going to do it, and light is negative. All right, so I cannot have the same color as positive. So this is 3x. So I'm going to change my color, and I probably should pick a light one actually. This purple is still dark, to pink. All right, so grab some color pencils, or just use a pencil for the light and a pen for a dark. All right, so boom. And then this one is a dark one because it's positive. So make sure that they're different colors so you can distinguish them. Now, when you see subtraction, you're going to take care of them while they're set up in the equation, then continue as equal, as the same. So these are opposite one another. And what do we know about opposite things? Like if you have 1 minus 1, they cross out or they cancel out. So a light and dark will always cancel. A light and dark will always cancel on the same side. Or you can look at it as what's 3x minus 2x is just x plus another x is 2x. So you see I have 2 pawns left. So you can think of it either way. But sometimes when the equation is on the other side, you do have to do the light and dark. It must be on level 6. All right, so I'm introducing it now, but you can just do 3x minus 2x. That's 1x plus another x is 2 pawns. So I should have 2 pawns on that side. All right, now cross out same color pawns on the opposite sides. All right, now I have a pawn here. That means I need my numbers here. So we're going to rewrite this 5 with 4. How can I rewrite 5? 4 plus what? 1. 4 plus 1 is 5, so I can cross that out. Now I can cross the 4 and 4 out, because if I take a 4 off both sides of the scale, it's going to balance out. And so now I have left, on this side I have 1, and on this side I have a pawn. So a pawn is equal to 1. And we're going to check that. So we have 1 plus 5 equals 4 plus 3 times 1 minus 2 times 1 plus 1. All right, type that all in the calculator. So we have 6 on this side equals, so 3 times 1 is 3, negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. So 3 minus 2 is 1, plus 4 is 5, plus 1 is 6. But again, go ahead and type it on the calculator. So a pawn is equal to 1. All right, go ahead and try this. Remember, take care of the subtraction while you're there, so you can just set it up without putting the light color. We'll start doing that on level 6. All right, level 6, subtraction. If level 5 method doesn't work, you're going to use the same, same different colored pawn to represent it. Remember, different color pawns cancel each other out on the same side. So it's very important, on the same side, different colors on the same side. Hint, the same way we have the golden rule to remove it from both sides, you can also add it to both sides as needed. And we're going to see how that works in just a second. All right, so we're going to add on a little notes. So I just want to add on, we want the positive pawn, which is the dark, right, as the final answer. Because you will have the option to have the light one. So we're just going to add, we want the positive pawn, which is dark, as the final answer. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Again, you're going to need 2 different colors. You can grab some color pencils for me, or a color pencil for me, actually, and then use a pencil for the other one. All right, so we're going to do dark and light. So I have negative, because negative is going to be light. I'm going to put that in pink. So again, a triangle with a circle on the head. I need 2 light, plus 3, that's positive, so it's going to be dark. All right, so again, dark, positives, light, negatives. Then I have 2x, that's positive 2x, so dark. and then positive 7, so dark as well. Okay, so it said if it doesn't work because now I can't simplify this because there's no other positives here to get rid of that. It says you can add different color pawns on the same side. What that means is I know that and I'll do it this way. If I add a pink and a dark, those are going to cancel each other out because the dark is positive 1, this is negative 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0. They're going to cancel out. So I can add them on each side. When I do that, you can see that as soon as I do that, I can cross out, right? I can cross out the purple. And that's why I'm doing that. So I'm going to add it again. So again, I can add the light and the dark on the same one because they cancel each other out. And when I do that, I know that the same color on both sides to keep my scale balance, these cancel each other out. All right, so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 light pawns. And on this side, I have numbers. So since the pawns are on this side, that means my numbers go on this side. That means I have to break the 7 down to have a 3. And how does 7 break down? So it has a 3. We're going to say 3 plus 4 with 7. So this crosses out because I've just replaced the 7 with 3 plus 4. Once I do that, I can cross out the 3's on both sides because I've taken out the weights on both sides. So now I have 4 pink is equal to 4. That means each one of those pink, so a pink is equal to a dark 1, which means a dark pawn, because that's the one we want the answer to be, is the opposite. So that's going to be negative 1. Okay, so let me repeat that again. All right, so now we're introducing negatives and positives, and it can get a little confusing. But what we're looking for is for dark versus light. And if you get the answer in light, to find the dark one is just opposite of what that is. So let's go ahead and do that with our manipulative so we can have a visual of what's going on. It's a little bit easier to see with these colors. So I'm going to set up my equation. So it's light, all right, 2 pawns, and then a positive 3, so a dark 3. And then on this side, 2 darks and a positive 7. All right, so now that I have this, what I was doing in by hand is we can first deal with these if we want to, or we can deal with the pawns. It really doesn't matter. If I want to get, I'm actually not going to do it in a different order. So since I want purple to remain in the answers, I need to get rid of these, right? That's what I'm trying to do. To get rid of these, that means I need to have these colors on this side, right? So I can do this. I haven't changed anything on the scale because I added 1 positive and 1 negative. But now you can see I've put an orange on that color, on that side. All right, because I want 2 of them, I'm going to do it again. All right, so again, I've added 1 orange, 1 purple, a light and a dark. And I can do that because these cancel out. This is positive, this is negative. These cancel out. But now you can see that I have the 2 oranges that I need. So what can I do? I can take these out. Now I only have dark. So this is positive 4. Now, if I have numbers on this side, pawns on this side, I want numbers on this side, right? So I need to get rid of this 7. All right, to get rid of this 7, I can break this down into 3 plus what? All right, I can do 3 plus 4, right? 3 plus 4 is 7. So I can take this out, and I have not changed the balance of my scale. But now that I've done that, I can do this, right? I can take this 4 out. Well, here's the thing. I want to add this on this side, right? But if I add it on that side, all right, if I add this on this side, I've changed the scale, right? But what I can do is I can add it and subtract it. I can do different colors. Now I haven't changed the scale because 4 minus 4, dark and light, is going to give me 0. But because I've done that now, I can see I can automatically take the 4 weight off of each side, telling me that 4 pawns is equal to 4. And I can replace this 4 with 4 1s, right? So I don't think I have enough 1s. Yeah, I don't have enough 1s, but just, take my word for it. All right, I can replace this with 4 1s, meaning a pawn, 1 pawn is equal to 1. And this is the light color, which means a pawn is negative 1. So as you can see, just like we did it in the book, I just went a different way about doing it. You get the negative 1. All right, so let's check that this is negative 1. So positive is negative 1, right? So we have negative 2 times a positive pawn, and because I always want my positive pawn, my dark to be my answer, that's the one that checks, goes in there. So it's -1 plus 3 equals 2 times my pawn, which is -1 plus 7. And you're going to put that right in the calculator. So -2 times -1 is +2, plus 3 is 5. 2 times -1 is -2, plus 7 is 5. So 5 equals 5, that is. So again, you need a light color and a dark color. All right, I'll do another question. So we have 3 darks because it's positive. So 3 darks, triangle with a man, 3 of them. +5, so a dark 5. -2x, so 2 lights, 2 light pawns, a triangle with a man on top, triangle with a man on top. So 2 lights and +20. So that number needs to be dark. So now you need to distinguish between positive and negatives, dark and light. All right, now, again, we want the positive pawns to stay, so we're always going to try to get rid of these. So if I'm trying to get rid of these, I need them to be on both sides of the equation, right? Which means I need to put a pink on this side. But in order to put a pink on this side, I could add a pink here, but that's not going to help me. But what I could do is I could add a pink and a purple, because what's going to happen? Those are going to cancel each other out. How many do I need? I need 2 of them. So I need another pink. But if I add a pink there, in order for my scale to stay balanced, I have to add this purple. So now I've added a pink and purple, but because they add up to 0, nothing has changed. But once I've done that, I can cross out 1 on this side, 1 on this side, because they're the same color. Cross out 1 on this side, 1 on this side, because they're the same color. So now I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 purples. So since my numbers on this side and my pawns on this side, I need to get rid of this 5, which means I need a 5 on this side. So I need to break down that 20 into 5 plus what number would give me 20? 15. So I can replace the 20 with 5 and 15, and my scale has not changed. But because now I have it on both sides, I can take the weights off of both sides, leaving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pawns is equal to 15. So what number added by itself 5 times will be 15? Well, you know 15 divided by 5 is 3, so it'll be 3. So this will be 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. And now we can cross out that 15 because we've replaced it with 5 3s, which means the value of 1 pawn is +3. So the value of 1 pawn equals +3. All right, let's go ahead and check that answer. So we have 3 times the pawn, which is 3, plus 5 equals -2 times the pawn, which is 3, plus 20. Put that in your calculator. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 5 is 14. I forgot to check this one. Equals -2 times 3 is -6. -6 plus 20 is 14, so this works. So we'll just do some additional practice like level 6 since we already introduced it a little earlier. All right, so let's go ahead and take care of this example. All right, so again, we got light and dark. Positive is light, so this is positive and a positive number. This is negative, so I need to change to my light color, and positive, which will be my dark color. Okay, so that's my balance scale. All right, now I want positives to stay in my final answer, so I need to get rid of the light color. So I'm going to add the light color on this side because I know I can cross it out. But if I change something, I have to do something else. And so this is saying different colored pawns cancel each other out, and you can add them to one side as it's 0 weight. So if I put the light and dark, my scale is still balanced because these cancel each other out. But once I do that, or the reason for me doing that is now I have them on both sides of the scale, I can remove that. So now I've gotten rid of my light completely, leaving me just my dark. Okay, so if my pawn's on this side, I need my numbers on this side. So again, we're going to rewrite 28 to include the number 4. So 4 plus 24 will give me 28. I have not changed the scale because 4 plus 24 is 28. And now since it's on both sides, we can remove this 4 weight and remove that 4 weight. All right, leaving 24 on this side and 2 pawns on this side. So I have 2 pawns, which means I need this to be 2 equal parts. So I can change the 24 to 2 equal parts, which is what? 12 plus 12. Because 12 plus 12 is still 24. I haven't changed the scale, which means each of my pawns must be equal to 12. So my pawn is equal to 12. And let's check that. Let's make sure we're right. So I have 12 plus 4 equals negative then 12 plus 28. So that's going to be 12 plus 4 is, and put that in the calculator, 16. Negative 12 plus 28 is also 16. So I did that right. All right, let me do another example, then you can practice one more. All right, so again, we have negatives, so that's going to be light. So we have 3 of them, triangle in a circle, triangle in a circle, triangle in a circle. Positive 15, that's going to be dark. 8, that's also going to be dark. Then I have dark pawn, so dark, and positive, so dark. All right, so that's my scale setup. All right, since I know I want dark in my answer, I definitely don't want to get rid of it, which means I need to get rid of light. So in order for me to get rid of these light, I need them to be on this side of the scale so I can cross them out and remove them, right? So what we just said is we can add a light and a dark, and it doesn't affect the scale because those cross each other out. And because I need 3 of them, I'm going to do it 3 times. So I'm going to do a light, and a dark, dark. All right, so I've added them 3 times and nothing has changed on this side because these cross out. They weigh the same on the same side. But now that I've done that, I can remove the light on every single side 3 times without penalty, and my scale is still balanced. All right, now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 darks left, and I have a 3 here and some numbers here. Because my pawn's on this side, I want the numbers on this side, which means I need to remove this weight. To remove this weight, I need to have it on this side. So let's take the smallest number, which will be the easiest one. And we're going to say 3 plus something has to give me this 8. 3 plus what? 5. So now I remove the 8 and replace it with 3 plus 5. It doesn't change anything because 3 plus 5 is 8. It still weighs the same. But the reason I do that is so now I can remove it from either side so it can keep my scale balanced. So I take the 3 out from both sides. Now I have 4 pawns is equal to 5 plus 15, which is 20. How would I split 20 into 4 equal pieces? 20 divided by 4. 20 divided by 4 is going to be 5. So basically I can replace this 15 with 5 plus 5 plus 5. That's 15, right? So that hasn't changed anything. And then I have this other 5. And now it's completely balanced. It's still the 20 ahead. But now I have a number, an equal number for each pawn. So a pawn is equal to 5. So a pawn is equal to 5. All right, now let's go ahead and check that. So we have negative 3, a pawn, which is 5, plus 15, plus 8, equals 5, a pawn, plus 3. Put that right in the calculator, and you're going to get negative 15 plus 15 is 0, 8. So they're going to have 8 is equal to 8. That is correct. All right, so go ahead and practice this. Now they're getting progressively more challenging, which is the entire point. So don't worry if you need additional practice. It's okay. It just takes a second to understand. So we are now on level 7, y'all. Level 7. We are getting it on level 7. All right, so subtraction. If level 6 methods doesn't work, since different colored pawns cancel each other out, you can add both of them on one side for the 0 weight of the scale. All right, you're going to go ahead and replace example 19 with negative 4 equals negative 8 minus 2 parentheses 4x plus 6 close the parenthesis minus 8x. The one I had before is going to give me a decimal, and I didn't want to deal with decimals. Okay, this is going to be my advanced problem. We're not going to actually solve it now, but if you can solve it using this pawn method, you can absolutely show it to me. But it's going to take us maybe a week or so to get to it, okay? So we'll do it slowly in class until we get to it. So I'm going to do these 2 examples on level 8, and this is going to be my advanced level 9 problem. All right, so distribution. So when you have distribution, when you have parentheses, right, usually you distribute the 2 in there. So what we're going to talk about is how to do it with our pawn system. You're going to cover the number outside. So I'm going to do one and you do one, which one looks harder. Probably this one. All right, so it says cover the number outside. So there, cover the number outside, okay? It says set up what's inside. All right, so I'm setting up, and this is on the right, 3 positives. So triangle with a circle, 3 plus 4. So 3 positives and a positive 4. Then uncover the number outside and repeat the process as many times as the number tells you to. So if I take that out, it's supposed to repeat twice. So this is supposed to happen twice. So I'm just going to copy it again. So if it was repeating 3 times, then you would do it 3 times, but it's just twice. All right, then continue setup as normal. Okay, now I was saying this is advanced. If the number outside is negative, which this one is, you're going to add it to each side so you don't have to deal with it. So I would add plus 2 parentheses 4x plus 6 on both sides. This is going to cross out. So again, that's the advanced one. If you can try it, go ahead and give it a shot. But right now I'm just going to deal with the positives. All right, so that's how you deal with distribution, but then everything else is the same. So since I'm setting up the right, I've got two groups of 3x plus 4, 3 pawns and 4. And then I've got minus 2x, which is light. So I should have two guys who are light on that side, right? On this side, I have a positive pawn and a positive 20. So again, dark is positive, light is negative. All right, so that's my setup. All right, so we can go ahead and get started. So I can already see we can take this guy out and one of these guys out, right? If we have the different colors on the same side, we can cross those out. So two of these will cross out with two of these, dark and light on the same side. All right, so this is what I'm looking at. Looks like my pawns are on this side, so I need my numbers. I need 2 4s on this side, so I'm going to rewrite this 20. All right, so 4 plus 4 plus something else needs to give me 20. So you can just put in the calculator 20 minus those two. 4 plus 4 is 8. 2 gets me to 10. And then 10 to 20, so this is plus 12. Or I could even write 2 plus 10 to keep it simple. All right, so again, 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 2 is 10, plus 10 is 20. So I can just substitute that for that and it stays exactly the same. My scale is still balanced. The reason I did that is I want to remove this 4 from the left and from the right. I want to remove this from the right and from the left. Boom. So once I do that, I have 10 plus 2 left on this side. And on this side, I have 1, 2, 3 pawns. So 10 plus 2 is 12. How can I replace 12 to be 3 equal numbers? So you do 12 divided by 3, which is going to give me 4. So I'm saying to get 12, I can do 4 plus 4 plus 4 3 times, and that's going to give me 12. So I can replace 12 with 4 plus 4 is 8, plus another 4 is 12. And I haven't changed the scale. But when I do this, I can see the pawn is equal to 4, the pawn is equal to 4, the pawn is equal to 4, meaning my final answer is that pawn is equal to 4. All right, let's double check that. So we're going to put 4 plus 20 equals to 3 times 4, because it's a pawn, plus 4 minus 2 times 4. And we're going to put that all in the calculator, but I'm going to do it by hand. This is going to be 24 equals, I'm going to do the parentheses first. Please excuse my Aunt Sally. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 plus 4 is 16, times 2 is 32. So I got 32 on that side. Minus 2 times 4 is 8. So 32 minus 8, 24. All right, so 24 is equal to 24. Then I know that I did that correctly. All right, so I'm going to just set this up, do the exact same equation, but with my pawns. So I have dark and 20. So I just need 2 10s will give me 20. Doesn't matter that I don't have a 20. On this side, I need 2 groups of 3x, so 3 darks. And I'm going to move this on the left. 2 groups of 3 darks and a 4. And the dark, so dark. All right, then I also need 2 light pawns, so 2 light pawns. Boom. All right, so this is my equation setup. And again, hey, if it's on both sides, I can legally take it out and the scale is not getting unbalanced. Different colors on the same side as 0, so they balance out, so boom. All right, then I've got these numbers. All right, let's sort these numbers. Let me break this 10 down to have a 4. And I don't have any more of the same color. So what are we going to do? I'm going to put 2 2s. All right, 2 2s plus a what? A 6. All right, that's going to get me what I need, right? So 2 2s plus a 6, that's going to give me 10. All right, and I know that 2 2s make a 4, so these cancel out. All right, so now this is what I have, a 10 and a 6. And again, I'm going to replace, let me even just replace the 6 with a 4 and a 2 of the same color. So I can take that out, right? And I've got a 4 on both sides. I can take that out. So I have 12 is equal to 3 pawns. I need these 3 to be 3 equal numbers. All right, those are going to be 3s. And again, I don't have enough. So I'm replacing this 12 with 3s. So I have a 3 right there. Another 3 right there, and I need 1 more 3. So I'm just going to kind of bootleg this a little bit. I'm going to say a 2 and a 1 because that's a 3, right? So I'm going to put these together like this. All right, so those are 3 3s, right? Which 3 plus 3 is 6, plus another 3 is 9. So that's wrong. I meant to say 4. I'm tripping, y'all. So 4s, I need 4s. So there's a 4. There's another 4. And I need one more 4, but I don't have any, so I'm going to replace it with a 3 and a 1. All right, that will be a 4. So now let me check again, and this is why you check. 4 plus 4 is 8, plus another 4 is 12. All right, so this is replaced correctly. All right, so now I have 3 4s. That means each pawn is equal to 4. So therefore, my pawn is equal to 4. All right, so again, this you're not going to fill out right now, but if you can, definitely show me. This is an advanced question. You're going to go ahead and do this question right here.